The Fight Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code SGPN. That's underdogfantasy.com and the promo code SGPN.
Dubois had a big opportunity.
A chance to rock the world.
Oleksandr Usyk, he's a master.
He has the heart bigger than this room.
It's the feints that really seem to unsettle Daniel Dubois.
Then,
Against all the odds, it happened.
time froze. We're waiting. Wow, he's done it. He's done it.
And I shouted out to Daniel, wow, you've done it, you've won.
I was surprised there was no count.
Моя думка, що рефері зробив все правильно.
The fans, they divided into two camps.
Was it low? Was it borderline?
I thought that punch was a punch from the gods.
He landed it right on the line.
I have the view that the shot was okay.
Muhammad Ali always talked about a quarter of an inch.
The guards are that big, so very, very close.
I see that's a legal shot. It was a real low blow. You know it was a legal blow.
What the referee did next was outrageous.
The seconds are ticking by. Suddenly, the minutes are ticking by.
He said, no, take some more time.
There were 3 minutes and 45 seconds of Oleksandr Usyk recovering.
Usyk came back, dropped him in the 8th round and stopped him in the 9th. Up until now, there's still a question mark. Usyk has shown that he is the man.
Usyk's beaten Joshua twice. He's beaten Fury twice. He's the closest that I've watched and thought, you've mastered boxing.
He's the defining champion of the era.
This version of Daniel Dubois,
Beating Jerome Miller, beating Philip Hrgović, then to go to Wembley Stadium.
Daniel goes in as the underdog.
He was like a man possessed.
I knew he was going to win that fight.
Anthony Joshua eviscerated him.
Thinking this story, that's how I fight.
This is the guy ready to take the throne.
Two semi-finals. You had Usyk fighting Fury, you had Dubois fighting AJ. This is like the final.
This rematch against Usyk is completely different.
Taking place
At Wembley Stadium, 90 plus thousand people.
all the belts on the line.
in front of a global audience, live on DAZN.
Now we have a chance to see who is the best.
This could be something special.
Do not blink.
What is the biggest difference between yourself and Oleksandr Usyk?
Biggest difference, I want to say age, speed, just everything really.
What do you and Oleksandr Usyk have in common?
What we have in common, I can't think right now. What do you think? Boxing?
Yeah.
It's impossible not to like Daniel Dubois, but it's also almost impossible not to like Oleksandr Usyk either. This is a fight that not only unifies the heavyweight division, but it's a fight between two of the most popular boxers in boxing right now, and they will come together tomorrow night to fight in front of a record-breaking crowd at Wembley Stadium, where 96 or 97,000 people are expected to attend, including myself. You are listening to The Fight Show here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can follow the Sports Gambling Podcast Network on X at the SGP Network. That's at the SGP Network. You can follow me on X as well. I'm the host of the Soccer Gambling Podcast, the most winning podcast on the SGPN. And the X account for that is at SGP Soccer. That's at SGP Soccer. You can get all the SGPN picks and props for free with the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. Also, if you're looking for additional free picks and free podcasts from me, search for Lock Betting wherever you get your podcasts, and search for Lock Betting on YouTube as well. Also, be sure to subscribe to the new Soccer Gambling Podcast YouTube account for your short form soccer content, giving you the team previews for the Premier League this summer in easy, digestible, short form content. But of course, if you want to get all of my official plays that go towards my tracked and transparent spreadsheets, head over to lockbetting.com. That is my premium pay service that has delivered 145 months in a row of transparent and tracked profit. Why is it transparent and tracked? Because I post a spreadsheet for every month. You can find the spreadsheets over at the lockbetting.com website. But some people found that complicated because I had to open each and every one via Google Docs. Well, what I did is I posted all of the latest spreadsheets to my Instagram, which is at lockbetting. That's a hub for everything we do. So the latest spreadsheets are there, including the latest 3 spreadsheets, all pinned to the top of the page. And to make things even easier, everything's posted via screen grab, so you can see screenshots of all the spreadsheets and the monthly analysis as well, looking at the things that we did right and a few things that we did wrong, because obviously we only do a few things wrong because we make a profit every single month. But these spreadsheets will give you an idea of what you're signing up for, the type of bets we do, the sports we bet on, and most importantly, how we manage a bankroll. I can tell you now we do it sensibly, and therefore we make this service accessible for anybody looking to invest in sports betting with a disposable income. So if you tick those 2 boxes, if you're looking to invest in sports rather than gamble, so you want to make money and you have that disposable income to get involved, and you don't need a massive bankroll to get involved, you don't need a 4-figure income like you do with some services, some stupid services that are giving out 5, 10, 20 unit, 5-star, 20-star plays. All this monopoly money junk that you see on Gambling Twitter or Gambling X. We don't do any of that. Just real stakes for real people who want to invest in sports betting and want to make money from sports betting on a monthly basis. That's what we've delivered every single month for 145 months in a row, undefeated for over 12 years, 0 losing months, all verified by the existing members. And if you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me on the Instagram at lockbetting. As I said, it's a hub for everything we do. You'll find sports betting videos there, you'll find free plays, you'll find spreadsheets, and it's the place to contact me. If you don't have Instagram for any reason, all my DMs are open on all my social media, and you can reach out to me on the X account already mentioned, which is at SGP Soccer. That's at SGP Soccer.
What are the dangers that Daniel Dubois brings to you this time?
Daniel, young guy, Daniel dangerous every time, because this guy have good punch and good boxing skill. But I must be careful because it's a boxing. But I prepare for this fight.
Will you stop him this time, do you think, or will it go 12 rounds?
Listen, I prepare every time on 12th round, because we with my coach, with my team, we prepare 12th round. But if I have chance, I do it.
Do you believe you will stop him?
Yes, of course.
Will you stop him? Yes, of course, is the opinion of Oleksandr Usyk, and it is matched by the books because they have that outcome, Oleksandr Usyk by KO TKO, as the shortest price in the method of victory market. Oleksandr Usyk is the 1-4 -400 favourite to beat Daniel Dubois again. It's 16-1 on the draw. Daniel Dubois is at 3-1 plus 300. And in the method of victory market, Oleksandr Usyk is at 2-1 to win via points via decision. He is at 11-10 to win via KO TKO. Daniel Dubois is at 12-1 to win via points or decision. And he's at 4-1 to win via KO TKO. If you're thinking about betting on Daniel Dubois, stay away from the money line. Daniel Dubois isn't winning a decision against Oleksandr Usyk, so KO TKO would be the only way that I would go with that one. Looking at the distance here in terms of the over-unders, over 5.5 is at 1-6, over 6.5 is at 1-4. Over 7.5 is at 2-5. Over 8.5 is at 4-7. Over 9.5 is at 4-5. Over 10.5 is at even money. Over 11.5 is at 6-5. And the unders, under 6.5, 9-4. Under 7.5, 13-8. Under 8.5 is at 6-5. Under 9.5 is at 10-11. Under 10.5 is at 4-6. under 11.5 is at 4-7. Fight to go the distance, yes, is available at 6-4, and no is available here at 8-15. Looking at the group round betting here, Usyk in rounds 1-6 is at 4-1 plus 400. Usyk in rounds 7-12 is at 9-4. Daniel Dubois in rounds 1-6, which is where a lot of people believe he needs to win that fight, is at 15-2. Daniel Dubois in rounds 7-12 is bigger at 9-1. If we look at different group rounds, we've got Usyk in 1-4 at 17-2. We've got Usyk in 5-8, which is a favourite at 7-2. We've got Usyk in 9-12, which is at 4-1. We've got Daniel Dubois in 1-4, which is at 12-1. We've got Daniel Dubois in 5-8, which is at 9-1. And Daniel Dubois in rounds 9-12, available at 14-1.
How do you think Daniel's got to approach this fight?
He has to not get his feet moved. Because Alexander's got a sense of moving around.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, he'll move this way, and then suddenly, by the time you adjust your feet, he hits you. By the time you move this side, he'll hit you again. So,
has he got a jump on him?
Pardon?
Has he got a jump on him from the first bell?
He got to.
Yeah.
He has to. But if he don't, he has to. At the same time, you have to survive with him. Because if you don't, he's going to knock you out. You lose concentration.
Has he got? I mean, has he got the engine to go down? The perspective is this, and I think we think this as well, Spence. And correct me if I've misinterpreted your view on it. That he's got to get him out there in 5 or 6 rounds, and if it starts to go longer into the fights, it becomes more of a problem for him because Usyk starts to pose the problem, starts to get him working at a level that he might not be comfortable with. Does he have the engine to work at a level that Usyk takes you to?
Well, this is what he needs to do. So he has to impose himself early. He's got to stamp his authority because Oleksandr Usyk will come out, and Usyk does this every time he starts a fight. He takes the centre of the ring and he's making his opponent work, and he's feinting and flicking around, and he's keeping his opponent busy all the time, but making him work hard without actually doing anything. So Daniel has to take that away from him. He's got to impose himself early, take it. There's got to be educated pressure because Derek will know better than anyone. He's shared the ring with him. But you go in there and you make any little fundamental mistakes with Oleksandr, and then he'll make you pay.
So that's the general consensus as to how this fight is going to play out, or what Daniel Dubois, in fact, needs to do. He needs to get him out of there early. He needs to hold centre ring. Don't let Usyk control the fight. Don't let Usyk take control by taking centre ring and making you fight his fight. Make him uncomfortable in there and take control of the fight from the beginning. Take centre ring and be the aggressor and try to get the early stoppage and never let Usyk get into his comfort zone. That is the narrative attached to this fight. So we're going to break it down from my perspective, and I'm going to land on a play here for you guys for tomorrow's fight. Before I do that, let me take this quick pause though to tell you guys about Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circus Football Contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You must register in person at Circus Sportsbook in Nevada, which is a great excuse to get out to Las Vegas. But sign up in Nevada, but play from anywhere. And you can do that with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use the promo code SGP to get 50% off your proxy fees. Let me also take this pause to tell you guys about mybookie.ag, which is your place to bet on every sport, including this fight, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, your NFL football futures for the upcoming season. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and you get lightning fast payouts using crypto as well. So head over to mybookie.ag and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, but that's mybookie.ag and the promo code SGPN. Let me also utilise this pause to tell you guys about Underdog Best Ball Mania. It's happening all summer long and they're giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is simply the best way to play fantasy football, and you can play it by signing up at Underdog and using the promo code SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Go to underdogfantasy.com and use that promo code SGPN. And finally, you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they've just dropped their game-changing feature called Power Trends. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. So be sure to download that Rhythm app and to check out Power Trends and start betting smarter today. You can get your free 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM rhythm.
If Daniel does pull off the win, in terms of Fury, him and AJ, is he number one if he pulls off the win?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. You know, he's got so much on him that he can prove right now, and it only takes a fight. And the fight is going to be tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
And just your final prediction?
I think if it's an early win, it's Daniel Dubois. If it's a late win, it's Oleksandr Usyk.
Let's do it. Legend. Thank you, mate.
So no one exactly sticking their neck out when it comes to this fight. Everybody kind of putting out the same prediction. Lennox Lewis played it very safe there, just saying if it's early, it's Daniel Dubois. If it's late, it's Oleksandr Usyk, which pretty much is completely in line with the odds. Not a lot of people predicting Daniel Dubois tomorrow, but he is the younger fighter and he has come through a real tough run of opponents to get here. It's a very, very good run for Dubois, including knocking out Anthony Joshua. Now, Usyk has 2 wins over Joshua, although he didn't actually ever stop him. Won both of those fights via decision, but they weren't controversial in any way. I think the only remotely controversial decision that Usyk had was his last win against Tyson Fury, where some people had Tyson Fury winning the fight. But ultimately, Oleksandr Usyk is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world and definitely the king of the heavyweight division right now. And he's also the conqueror of the Brits. It will not mean anything for Oleksandr Usyk to be fighting as the away fighter here. He actually loves coming to the UK. This second meeting takes place at Wembley, but Usyk already has wins over Tony Bellew, Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua, all on UK soil to pad out this 23-0 record that he brings into this fight. As I said, Daniel Dubois is on a solid run, and that's been the rebuild since his defeat to the great Ukrainian heavyweight Oleksandr Usyk. The rebuild has actually seen him beat Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgovic and Anthony Joshua, which was his biggest win. But he was an underdog, a betting underdog in all 3 of those fights. So dare we bet against Daniel Dubois again when he has shown his punching power and has shown that he has improved massively as a fighter. Also, what about this low blow controversy? Do you think, like many people do, like I do actually, that Daniel Dubois beat the great Oleksandr Usyk in his last fight? Did he, in fact, stop him in that 5th round, or should he have stopped him in that 5th round with that body shot? After that, after the punch was ruled a low blow, Usyk was given additional time to recover. He came back from that to dismantle what I believe was a very disappointed and demoralised Daniel Dubois. He dismantled him with precision shots. Ultimately, he scored a knockdown in the 8th round, and in the 9th, he put the pressure on, and the challenger was unable to continue. But Dubois stressed he feels the shot which floored Usyk in the 5th was a legal one. And if you watch the video back, many would argue, and you can make up your own mind as to whether Usyk had his shorts up very, very high, and was that in fact above or below the belt line? And if you think it was below the belt line, then you need to ask yourself, was the belt actually really higher than it would usually be? Lots of questions. Ultimately, it's not relevant now, but it does probably give Dubois the belief that he can hurt the 2-weight world champion. Plus, add to that Dubois has massively improved as a boxer. Unfortunately, as much as I want Dubois to win, too much of that doesn't factor into my pick. What does factor in is the fact that Oleksandr Usyk really did dominate the beginning of that last fight, those first 4 rounds. Even though Dubois is much improved, he couldn't work out how to stand toe-to-toe with Usyk. His game plan, in fact, was very, very cagey. He actually tried to go and match Usyk. He had a cautious approach and almost tried to mirror Usyk's pendulum-like movement. And that proved to be an error, because there was absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind before that low blow controversy that Usyk had opened up a lead and looked on course for a routine win before Dubois landed with what I felt was a legal body shot. But obviously the fact that Usyk was given time to recover meant that Usyk managed to get up and pick up the fight exactly where he left off, which was with Usyk having a demanding lead, and Daniel Dubois ultimately had to do the work all over again to find another magical punch, another moment where he would catch lightning in a bottle and knock down one of the best pound for pound fighters, if not the best pound for pound fighter in the world, and the undisputed king of the heavyweight division. Daniel Dubois, after finding lightning in a bottle, then knew that he had to find it again. And that's the point where I believe that Daniel Dubois went on to lose faith and got demoralised. So lots of things to factor in, but I just do not believe, as much as I want to believe it, I don't believe Dubois has improved enough to do any better than he did in those first 4 rounds. And as Derek Chisora said, if he goes and meets him in the ring, if he doesn't try to take a cautious approach, if he doesn't try to match that pendulum style, if he just goes in there and goes for broke and is aggressive, then Usyk can counterpunch you. You can play into Usyk's hands, and he can ultimately just pick you off and score a stoppage by himself. I do believe that is how this one is going to play out. Whether Dubois goes for broke early and empties out the gas tank and he's picked off by Usyk, or whether it's a case of it's a cautious approach and Daniel Dubois is trying to match the pendulum movement and the approach that Usyk takes to the fight, which I don't think he will do. Ultimately, the damage is going to take its toll, and this won't get through the full 36 minutes. At some point, Oleksandr Usyk will do enough damage and Daniel Dubois will either quit, the towel will come in, or the referee will decide that he's seen enough. I don't think Usyk's going to actually knock Dubois out. I do think it will be a TKO, but I do see him getting Dubois out of there, whether it be via Dubois going for broke and emptying out that gas tank, which I think is the most likely scenario, or Dubois just standing there and being a cautious punching bag for Usyk to pick off more slowly and for Usyk to finish this in the later rounds. So I don't think that age has caught up with Usyk yet. I do think that will be an inevitable outcome if Usyk continues to fight. But if it's a case of Oleksandr Usyk just fighting until the end of 2026, so we're looking at 18 months from now, I do believe that Usyk has enough, or I've seen enough of Usyk to believe that he can win the 2 or 3 fights that he has, this one and maybe 1 or 2 more, taking him to the end of 2026. However active he chooses to be, I do believe he can get to the end of 2026. I've seen enough from Usyk to say that he's active enough, his movement's good enough, he's precise enough with his shots, and ultimately that he's unbeatable in this division. And I don't see any name on the horizon, not a third fight with Anthony Joshua, not a third fight with Tyson Fury, nothing from Joseph Parker. I just don't think the man is out there, at least not by 2026. Now, there are some fighters coming through on the horizon. I just don't think they're ever going to step in the ring with Oleksandr Usyk being the age that he's being. I think it's going to be a case of taking care of Daniel Dubois, possibly having that third fight with Fury. And then from there, I don't know who we can see as a possible third fight before he hangs up the gloves. But I don't think we're going to see this fighter fighting in 2027. And I do think he's going to retire with that O, and therefore cementing himself as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. So my play for this show, as much as I don't want to play it and don't want to give it out and don't want to believe it's going to happen, is going to be for Oleksandr Usyk to win by a decision at a price of 11-10. But I will be at Wembley tomorrow and I will be fully supporting Daniel Dubois. As I said, he's very difficult not to like, but I don't know many British people that really hate Oleksandr Usyk because he's just so likeable. Even though he's come through a load of British fighters, as I said earlier, Tony Bellew, Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury. He's come through them all. He's already beaten Daniel Dubois as well, although it was controversial. That's definitely the most controversial win of Usyk's career. And even he will want this fight again to silence the doubters, because there are a lot of people that are saying Dubois won. And I am also in that camp. And even though I do feel that way, I do think it was a very very, very one-off magical shot. Now, it is a shot that Dubois is capable of landing again. This is a guy who's very, very dangerous. So if you're looking for some type of hedge here, maybe in the group round betting, looking at Daniel Dubois in the first half of the fight, that certainly appeals to me as some sort of hedge to take against your Usyk via TKO KO, which is also a plus money selection anywhere 11 to 10. So 2 plus money selections covering pretty much what everybody thinks, with the main play being on Usyk to win via TKO KO at 11 to 10. But looking at those that group round betting and looking at those first 6 rounds, Daniel Dubois in rounds 1 to 6 as a hedge, which is available at a massive price of around about 8 to 1 plus 800. With Daniel Dubois being at 3 to 1 to win this fight, 4 to 1 via TKO KO, yet being 8 to 1 to win in rounds to 6, which many people believe are the only rounds he can win in. I think that's a crazy price, and I would definitely recommend a sprinkle on that one, a little hedge to make sure that you end up in a profit, with a profit either way, given that these are the only 2 outcomes that I and many other experts can see for tomorrow night's fight at Wembley Stadium. That's it for me and this edition of The Fight Show. Don't forget, all of my official plays are available over at my service, lockbetting.com. Good luck with all your bets as always, and thanks for listening.